Hey y'all, Kellye Whitney here. Your internet auntie wants to talk to you about something super basic, but I think it's important. Everything I discuss is about mastering the basics because I feel like if you can master the basics consistently, you can accomplish great things. And this is huge for women because I think people just have a ton of problems with it for it to be as basic and ordinary as it actually is. It's the ability to say no. I keep being fed situations where it's like, dude, just say no. People react badly when a woman tells them no for a variety of reasons. One, they have cultural expectations of compliance. Basically, they think that women are supposed to be nurturing, accommodating, we're supposed to be agreeable. And so when we say no, it challenges those ideas and norms that they have in their head, and that can provoke a negative response. But basically, it boils down to entitlement. When you tell a man no in particular, if they've been raised with any kind of patriarchal beliefs, they literally feel entitled to a woman's time, her attention, her resources, everything. They feel like, yeah, what you got, I can access it. And it's like, no. Okay. Another reason that people have a hard time hearing no, they perceive the no as a rejection and it pricks their ego. That could make a man feel inadequate. It could make him defensive. And it's frankly social conditioning because men they're not as used to being told no because society reinforces the right to dominate and control. And when you tell someone no, it's a shift in power dynamics. You might not think of it like that, but if you're in a situation where somebody expects your submission or your agreement, that no leads to a loss of control and therefore is an easy walk to hostility because they feel entitled to your time, your attention, to your resources. If that person is not a fan of dealing with boundaries or respecting boundaries, if they hear a firm no, they almost see that as like a challenge to their authority or how dare you not meet my desires. And that's why a lot of times when a woman says no, the other party hears, oh, let me wear her down. No. Another reason that people have a hard time hearing a woman say no is flat out emotional immaturity. Like they dead ass are kids and need to grow the fuck up. If somebody struggles with emotional regulation, then they may not be able to handle rejection very well. Disappointment might make them crash out and spiral, which is pathetic, but it is what it is. And somebody who perhaps has an inability to empathize with others, they'll prioritize their needs over the other person's. When they hear that no, they basically feel slighted. They're being attacked with your boundary. And the last reason I came up with as to why people fuss so hard when they hear a woman say no is just internalized bias. Basically, because of sexism, a woman's no doesn't really have as much value as a man's. It's easier for them to question that no, like, this doesn't really align with what I know or what I expect from you. And it's like, the no is the no, good night. But that bias triggers a microaggression, essentially, because the other party will just have an overall negative reaction to hearing a woman say no. It's just hard for them to accept that this woman is independent and erecting a boundary, which is unfortunate, but there it is. At the end of the day, I still don't think any of this should prevent you from saying no. And what I've found works is say no firmly. Do not prevaricate. Do not waffle. Do not indicate with any body language that there's any point of weakness. So like, don't wring your hands. Don't do the shoulders. Don't the facial expressions. No, it's just like no. And then that's it. No is a complete sentence. Don't say anything else. That's it. My next all-important phrase that I think you really need to maybe write it down so you can regurgitate it at will. After you say no and they start up the wear you down shit, you say, did you not hear me? And then wait, don't say anything else. Oh yeah, I heard you. So I said no. And it feels rude. It really does. It feels inconsiderate. It feels harsh. That's because it's unfamiliar. Women are raised to be accommodating. We're raised to be nurturing. We're not raised to set firm boundaries and even say no. We're raised to say yes, to do whatever we can to help other people. And I'm not saying you need to stop helping other people, but if there's a situation where saying no is going to be hugely problematic for you, then say No, say no. It's okay. The world's not going to end. That other person will figure their shit out. You don't need to bend yourself into a pretzel all the time for everybody else. It's okay for you to say no. The world's not going to end because you erected a boundary and stood on business. If they can't handle it, they probably should work that out on their own, and you can't do anything about it. But still say no, because that's what you mean, and don't go back on your word. Too many times, I think Black women in particular get roped into just giving everything, and then at the end we have nothing, because we should not be giving everything every time somebody asks. It's not that you should never help anybody ever. You should help people. I mean, I think that we're put on the earth, that's part of the human condition, to help other people. But the problem is Black women are often expected to help, and there's never a limit. It's just take, give me everything you got. That doesn't work for us. It works for somebody else, but it doesn't work for us at all. That's what you have to think about when you're cultivating the ability to say no, is that you don't want to end up with an empty cup, and somebody else's cup, you're constantly pouring into it and filling it, only to discover that shit's got a hole in it, okay? I can pour into it indefinitely, and they're always gonna come back to the well because they know this particular water ain't gonna poison them. But this is where they're wrong, because now you're gonna practice saying no. It's a complete sentence. You're not gonna prevaricate. You're just gonna look people straight in the eye and be calm, relax shoulders, understand it's okay for you to say no. The world's not gonna end. Try it. Come back. Tell me how it went. And that ends my TED Talk for today. I'll see y'all tomorrow.